The scream cut through the dawn silence. 1952. Morningside Park. A jogger found her hanging from the iron gate. Young black woman, maybe 22, Columbia law student. Rope burns on her wrists. She fought hard. Note pinned to her dress. Educated coloreds die too. Detective James Carter arrived first. Checked her wallet. Sarah Johnson. His blood froze. Bumpy Johnson's daughter. Carter looked at his partner. What do we write? Suicide. But the evidence, suicide. Unless you want a war. They filed it. Notified the family. Waited for hell. Sarah was brilliant. First black woman accepted to Columbia Law. Wanted to desegregate schools. Her professors called her extraordinary. She lived with her father in a brownstone on 138th Street. Every Tuesday, at 6 a.m., she jogged through Morningside Park. Same route, same time. Someone watched, planned, waited. 4 men grabbed her that morning. She kicked, screamed, and scratched. Left DNA under her fingernails. They strangled her first, then staged the hanging, made it look self-inflicted. The KKK cell had 12 members. They met in a basement on West 110th. Choose 4 for the job. Paul Dawkins, Mike Fletcher, Tony Russo, Kevin Hart. They targeted Sarah because she was everything they hated. Smart, black, female, breaking barriers. At 8 a.m., Bumpy got the call. His daughter was dead. Police said suicide. He knew better. Bumpy stood where Sarah died. Police missed everything. He didn't. 4 cigarette butts, different brands, muddy boot prints, size 11, 10, 12, 9. A torn piece of fabric, blue denim, factory worker's jacket, and something else, a lighter. Engraved initials, P, D. Bumpy pocketed everything, found a witness. An old homeless man named Eugene slept under the bridge nearby. I saw them, Eugene whispered. 4 white men waited in the shadows, grabbed her when she jogged past, heard them laughing after. Names? Just one, the big one. Others called him Paul. Bumpy handed Eugene $300. You were never here. Eugene vanished. Bumpy called Marco, a bartender who owed him. White men, working class, one named Paul. Where do they drink? 3 hours later, Marco called back. McGinty's pub. 4 guys came in this morning, celebrating, real loud, bragging about teaching some uppity-colored girl a lesson. Names? Paul Dawkins, Mike Fletcher, Tony Russo, Kevin Hart. Regulars. Meet every Thursday with 8 other guys. Back room. Some kind of brotherhood. Bumpy wrote the names down. What kind? The hood-wearing kind. By midnight, Bumpy had complete files, addresses, jobs, families, routines, everything. He called his 3 most trusted men. Vincent Razor Cole. Tommy Ghost Williams. Marcus Silent Jones. 4 names. They killed Sarah. Now they pay. 3 days. 4 men. Make them understand what they took. The men nodded. They'd watched Sarah grow up. This wasn't business. This was blood. Paul Dawkins worked in construction, lived alone in a basement apartment. September 24th, 9 p.m. Paul came home from work. His door was unlocked. He stepped inside. 3 men waited. Before Paul could scream, they gagged him, bound his wrists with rope. The same kind of Paul used on Sarah. Razor threw the rope over the ceiling pipe, put the noose around Paul's neck. Paul's eyes went wide. Understanding, terror. They lifted him slowly, let him choke, lowered him, lifted again, 3 times, teaching him Sarah's last moments. On the 4th time, they left him hanging, set up a camera, took photographs, evidence. When Paul's landlord found him the next day, there was a note. 1 down, 3 left. You killed brilliance. Now you're nothing. Sarah Johnson. Mike Fletcher heard about Paul. Started panicking. Locked his doors. Bought a gun. But he still had to work. Still had to go to the factory. September 25th, 11 p.m. Mike's shift ended. He walked to his car in the empty lot. Didn't notice the figure in the back seat. Ghost waited until Mike started driving. Then pressed a knife to Mike's throat. Drive. Please. I didn't. You strangled a 22-year-old woman. Drive. Ghost directed him to the docks. Empty warehouses. Nobody around. They stopped. Ghost dragged Mike out, tied him to a chair, put a plastic bag over his head, let him suffocate, removed it, repeated. 5 times. This is what Sarah felt. Understand? Mike was crying, begging, broken. On the 6th time, Ghost left the bag on. Mike's body was found floating in the Hudson 3 days later. Note in his pocket, 2 down, 2 left. You drowned her future. Now you know water. Sarah remembers. Tony Russo and Kevin Hart knew they were next. They ran to their KKK brothers. All 12 members met emergency meeting. Warehouse on West 110th. September 26th, 8 p.m. Bumpy Johnson is hunting us, Tony said, shaking. Paul's dead. Mike's dead. We need protection. We need to fight back. Some wanted to leave town. Others wanted war. They voted. 8 voted to stay and fight. 4 voted to run. The 4 who voted to leave walked out immediately. Kevin and Tony stayed. Thought numbers meant safety. Thought 8 men with guns could stop Bumpy. They were wrong. Outside, hidden in shadows, Bumpy watched with Razor, Ghost, and Silent. 12 went in. 4 came out. 8 stayed. Then 8 burn. At 10:45 p.m., the attack began. Razor and Ghost each carried Molotov cocktails. Silent is positioned at the back exit. Bumpy took the front. At 10:47, the first bottle went through the window. Then another. Another. The warehouse exploded in flames. Men inside screamed, ran for exits. The front door is chained from the outside. Back door opened. 2 men escaped, silently let them run. They were burned, traumatized, and finished. 6 men died inside. Tony Russo, Kevin Hart, 4 others, trapped, burned alive. Fire department's report. Accidental fire, illegal alcohol storage. The NYPD investigation was closed in 24 hours. No suspects. Detective Carter read the report. Added it to his file. Never spoke of it. By September 27th, the Harlem KKK cell was destroyed. 4 men killed Sarah. Paul Dawkins, hanged. Mike Fletcher drowned. Tony Russo, burned. Kevin Hart, burned. 8 supporters, 6 dead, 2 traumatized permanently. Message received. Harlem protects its daughters. 5,000 people attended Sarah's funeral. Closed casket, Bumpy's request. He wanted people to remember Sarah alive, smiling, brilliant. As the casket lowered, Bumpy placed something on top. A photograph. Sarah is in her Columbia sweater, holding law books, smiling, and 4 other photographs. Paul hanging, Mike floating. The warehouse is burning. Tony and Kevin's charred remains. Underneath, a note. Sarah, they paid. All of them. Every man who touched you. Every man who supported them. Harlem delivered justice. Rest easy, daughter. Your dream lives. Nobody will do this again. I promise. Dad. People saw the photographs. Understood. This wasn't just a funeral. This was a declaration. In 1968, a reporter asked Bumpy about Sarah. About September 1952. Mr. Johnson, rumors persist that you killed 8 men in 3 days. Men connected to your daughter's death. Comment? Bumpy was 70, tired but sharp. My daughter wanted to change the world through law, believed in justice, courts, the system. And you? I believed in the system too. Until it called my daughter's murder a suicide. Until the police did nothing. Until the system Sarah believed in failed her completely. So, you took justice into your own hands? I didn't take anything. Justice was owed. The courts wouldn't deliver, so it came from somewhere else. Doesn't that make you as bad as who? As the men who lynched a 22-year-old for being educated? As the police who covered it up? As a system that's failed black families for centuries? Silence. After September 1952, the KKK never touched Harlem again, not once in 16 years. You know why? Because sometimes, the only thing that stops terror is the certainty that terror will be answered with the same force. That's not revenge. That's balance. That's what the law should have been. The reporter never published it, but the story lived. Passed through Harlem like a legend, like a warning, like promise. Touch Harlem's daughters, and Harlem touches you back, not with lawyers. With something older, something final. Sarah Johnson wanted to change the world through law, but her father became her justice. And the 4 men who killed her and the 8 who supported them learned what justice looks like when the system fails. 3 days. 8 men were destroyed. One message that lasted generations. Harlem protects its own. If this story made you think about real justice when systems fail, hit subscribe. We're telling the truth about what happened when Black communities protected themselves because nobody else would. Drop a comment. Justice or revenge? When police call murder suicide, what options are left? Turn on notifications. We're bringing untold stories of Bumpy Johnson, the moments history books missed, the times one man stood between his community and terror. Remember Sarah Johnson, 1930 to 1952, the lawyer Harlem never got, the reason the KKK never came back. Rest in power.